All right. So kwenye inkathi ke uyonikezwa line guys mhlambe njengala nje sino line ED wethu, okay? Bese kuba ukuthi ke you are given your gradient noma i-gradient yakho uyayazi noma uyakhona ukuyithola from another line. Bese usebenzisa your gradient concept to calculate i-coordinates eshodayo, okay? So for example nje ake sibuke nje lesimo lesi. We are given that gradient of ED is equal to 2 njengoba sibona nje. So calculate the value of A, okay? So sonotisake la ukuthi ke sathi nama coordinates ahlezi ethi x is to y and then x is to y. So mesingenza i-denotations nje singathi x1 lo y1 lo sithi x2 lo y2 lo, okay? So what I'm teaching you now is kwenye inkathi kuyokwenza kube ukuthi gradient unayo noma uyakhona ukuyithola for a particular line kube ukuthi khona i-coordinates elilodwa ongenalo. You can therefore make use of i-gradient concept ukuthi ubale the missing coordinate. Kanjani na? So as long as gradient unayo kuukuthi ke at least three coordinates unawo, therefore le shodayo uyakhona ukuyibala. So therefore let us look at this line ED. So i-gradient line ED izothi m is equals to change in y, okay, over change in x. Okay, so y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So the only thing also uzoyenza is to just substitute ama-coordinates akho, okay, and the gradient yakho wherever you see your gradient, okay? So bukani ke magic. So what's going to happen is la ubona gradient yakho uzofaka u2, so soba no 2 is equals to y2 wethu ubani y2 wethu u1 minus y1 wethu uba u5 all over x2 wethu ubani x2 wethu u8 minus x1 wethu uba u3 guys x1 wethu, okay? All right, cool. And then vakala let us just check ukuthi akhona nama like terms, then if ekhona still na uqala, okay? Siyabona lapha na phezulu ukuthi no 1 minus 5, so straight away singasho ukuthi this is 2 which is equals to negative 4, okay, over a minus 3. Okay, so we're just going to be following ama rules of solver ama linear equations, okay? So uma ukuthi uya solver for n unknown and ukuthi une denominator, the best thing for you to do ukuthi multiply ngale denominator yakho on both sides. So njalo une denominator guys, to make things easy for you or to get rid of your denominator, multiply ngayo on both sides. So that and that will therefore cancel. Bese sisala nje no a minus 3 multiply no 2, which is going to be equal to minus 4. Okay, sabona ukuthi lo 2 wethu la positive, so sesoqala times ngayeke. So it's positive 2 multiplied by a, so no positive 2a, then size la positive times negative, multiply ama signs angafani, negative final sign, bese no 2 times 3 kubo bani kubo 6. Now this will be equal to a negative 4, okay? Then siyabona ukuthi it's now a clear and straightforward linear equation. So siyabona we need to get rid of 2 and 6. So the first thing we can get rid of in order to solve for a kuzoba 6 because uhlukaniswe isign ne-variable yethu. So sala nobani, so sala no 2a ngala elingana nobani, no minus 4, then siyamtranspose 6 wethu, mefika ngale uzoba bani, uzoba plus 6. Therefore sibe nobani, no 2a elingana nobani, negative 4 plus 6 uba loyo u2 guys, okay? Then invakala to get rid of your 2 and divide by 2 on the side, divide by 2 on the side, and then 2 and 2 will go, then 2 divided by 2, so by no a way to lingana nobani, no 1 guys, okay? So here we go, we've got our a usobani u1, so amacoordinates alana at 1 is to 1 guys, okay? That's yabona ukuthi ke guys, sometimes uyoba nesimo la khona uyoshoda i-coordinates elilodwa, mhlambe it can be expressed in terms of k or in terms of a or in terms of p or t or whatever, but now ukuthi une gradient une point elilodwa liphelele ukuthi khona elilodwa onalo but oyedwa ongekho, you can therefore make use of your gradient formula njengoba senzile nje la to calculate your missing coordinates, okay? So this is another use of your gradient guys engifisa ukuthi siyazi, okay? Alright guys, ake sibuke ke nale example lelandelayo, okay? Singakhohlwa ukuthi we're still looking at uku-apply i-gradient la khona isiza ukuthola khona i-coordinates elishodayo. So I've got this beautiful scenario here and uyacelakala ukuthi ucalculate i-value ka-t mawukuthi u-dt perpendicular to u-pb. So in other words, u-dt nangu dt la is perpendicular to bani to pb respectively. Okay, Right, cool. So, but then in this case, again, so notice ukuthi asinikeziwe i-gradient, but however, sinikezwe angle of inclination made by UPB with the horizontal, okay? So again, it's going to pause the video la, try and attempt it at home, okay? And then ubone ukuthi uyakhona yini uku-integrate izinto esuyifundile before, typically to find your value of t. Okay, and then as soon as you're done, you can therefore come and proceed. Bese siyaqhubeka-ke. All right. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So notisake la ukuthi we are given the angle of inclination. And siyabuka la ukuthi ke tina we said, right, to calculate the value of a missing coordinate, you can actually make use of your gradient concept, right? So uyakhona ukwenza lokho ngaso sonke isikhathi mawukuthi ke ikhona indlela ukuthi ungayithola i-gradient in that particular scenario. For example, siyabona la ukuthi u-dt perpendicular to PB. However, asikhona ukuyibala i-gradient kabani ka-dt because we've got a missing coordinate. However, singakhona ukuyithola ke gradient yona itself using ubani uline PB, okay? But then here's another problem. Ku-line PB asinikeziwe i-gradient number 1, number 2 asina ama-coordinates, and then number 3 asina equation ka-line PB. But however, sinayo i-angle of inclination made by UPB nani ne horizontal. So khumbula ke thina la ukuthi no man. Siyakhumbula right, akhumbula ke thina ukuthi utan theta uyalingana nani ne gradient. And then in this case, theta wethu uba u45. So since yamazi 45, it means ngamfakela laphayana and therefore calculate gradient kabani ka line PB. So therefore sizoba no tan 45, right? Kukutulingana nani ne gradient, okay? And then if you punch in tan 45, or maybe use a concept to yama special angles, right? So thola ukuthi ke tan 45 u1 and therefore I gradient yethu leyo, okay? All right, cool. So ma ukuthi ke uPB uperpendicular to dt njengokusho kwabo, we can therefore conclude ukuthi no man, ushuthi it means I gradient ka dt na ke yona izoba bani -1 because numerator to denominator, denominator to numerator, and then we change our sign. And then u1 ke u1 over 1, so ingakho ke kuukuthi gradient kabani ka dt izoba bani izoba -1. So we have our gradient of dt and ilingana nobani no -1. Okay, all right, cool. So since it's in our gradient ka dt and there's only one missing coordinate, we can therefore make use of skill esisebenzile ku-example esiphuma kuyona to calculate i-value kabani ka-t, okay? Says okay, our gradient is equals to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, okay? Minus x1. Okay, right, and then before we start, let's just quickly denote, okay? So x1, y1 wethu, right? And then x2, y2 wethu, all right? And then I'll just sifakele. So our gradient is equals to a -1. Let's bona khona m, so fako -1 because sesiyayazi gradient yethu yubani u -1. This will be equals to y2 wethu uba u-t, so should uba no t minus y1 wethu uba y1 wethu ubani u5, so it's going to be t minus 5 all over x2 wethu ubani u2, right, minus x1 wethu ubani u-4. So we have to include our brackets here because minus ubani u-4. All right, so siyabona ke la ukuthi it means the first thing to do is to get rid of a bracket iqala. So soba -1 is equals to t minus 5 all over negative times negative, that will give us a positive. So we siba no 2 plus 4, okay? 2 plus 4 wethu, so 2 plus 4 wethu yafana nobani no 6 respectively, okay? So vele lapha siyabona ukuthi okay man, so it means no -1 is equals to t minus 5 over bani over 6, okay? Right, cool. So the denominator ngala, because we've got a fraction, and then instead the one and most effective way to get rid of your denominator is to multiply ngayo on both sides, okay? So 6 and 6 will go, and then ngala ngabe siba no 6 multiplied by -1, so it means in a -6 elingana nobani no t minus 5, okay? Then ivakala we're going to transpose our 5 to the other side, bese siba no -6 plus 5, because mese welile fanele ishintshe sign, this will be equals to our t, and then u-negative CC ke plus 5 uba loyo u-negative 1. So sino-negative 1 wethu elingana nobani no-t guys. Okay, so if got our coordinates la athini athi 2 is 2 minus 1 guys. Okay, so isifundiseni ke lento lesifundisa ukuthi uma ukuthi mhlawumbe unikezwe angle of inclination of another line, that can be used to calculate the gradient of that line if that line is told to be either parallel or perpendicular to the other line ekuzoba ukuthi i-coordinate elilodwa lalo munye ulayini unjani asilazi. Okay, all right, cool. So sesizomuvela ke to our next example.